Now, for some analysis, let's bring in Gilson Schwartz, professor of economics at the University of Sao Paulo. Gilson, welcome to the show. And as the G20 wraps, world leaders talk about inclusive growth. What does this mean?
Well, thank you, Diego. I'm so happy to be here with you. Well, inclusive growth requires boosting economic growth along different lines. That requires upgrading the policy and institutional frameworks we are working with. Basically, we are watching the demise, the decadence of the post-war order that was actually led by the hegemon, the United States. The fact that the United States is not present, is boycotting this meeting, is also a sign of the times. We are building South-South, non-hegemonic frameworks for policy evolution. We mean new technology policies, climate change, and the demographics of the third world. So we are growing below target. We need new institutions. And most of all, we need to go beyond the dollar as a reference currency. So all these discussions underline the idea of inclusivity. To include requires new institutions and a new global order.
And Gilson, China's call for open trade contrasts with ongoing tariff battles, right? How does this affect the rest of the global South?
Well, we know that protectionism and unilateralism have already been thought of as solutions in the past. The United States is not reinventing anything. They're just going back to the old protectionist measures that led to wars, led to violence, led to discrimination and exclusion. So the idea that we have to defend free trade now is the main target of the South to South framework. And of course, China is leading this. In order to have a new global order, we have to decentralize, we have to open trade, we have to organize dialogues rather than boycotts.
And at the same time, China's green growth language is loud and clear, and urgency has been widely accepted by pretty much everybody. Why is climate action lagging?
Well, I think that there is a major issue here. The climate issue has been denied, has been challenged by big oil industries, by a completely structured and established mode of consumption as well. We see all these Western projects, development projects that rely on fossil fuels that are not sustainable. So it's very difficult to promote a change, a transition towards a new model when you don't have a state, when you don't have institutions regulating the transition. So I think that the fight here is not against climate change as such. It's just the fight between those who want the free market along with protectionism, and those who want the free market along with regulations, with moderation, with dialogue. It's not about climate, it's about the role of the state and public institutions and international dialogue.
Gilson, we're running out of time, but I'd like to get your insight on what do you think are the next steps that will continue after this event on trade and investments worldwide?
Well, first, I think we are now building up a new framework where economics and investment go hand in hand with freedom, with solidarity, with inclusivity. This is very important. Another really key issue here is technology. We have to fight the oligopolies, especially the US big tech framework, which is clearly exclusive. And then last but not least, a new monetary and financial order. We need a reform of institutions, and that should start with International Monetary Fund. We need new currencies, a plurality of currencies, and of course, overcoming the dollar hegemony.
Gilson Schwartz, thank you for your time.
Thank you.